was a work thing, but a voluntary work thing. So we have, my company has a lot of people working remotely around the country, and there's like 5 or 6 people that were working from home in Denver. And I asked them, I was like, I sure would like to be one of those work from home in Denver people. And they said yes. So I moved out here. Yes, I have actually always owned a home. When we moved here and rented an apartment for the last like 10 months, that was actually my first rental experience. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's like 1,000 square feet, tiny little stacked washer dryer, 3rd floor walk up. Yeah, it's for $1,800 a month. This is 1,600 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, attached 2-car garage. We have the HOAs, like the park, another park over there. It's perfect. And I'm paying like $500 less than I would in rent. So yeah. And when I was looking, I saw, oh, there's these condos. I didn't know that. And so I clicked the little link, like find out more information. And then my realtor, Leanne Johnson, she messaged me and I really liked her. So we met the next day and went looking. Well, actually, I think I was more of a unique case, especially because in this area, there's only like a few pockets of condos, and I knew I didn't want a single family house because I've had yards, no more yards. I'm done with that. So there's only a few little pockets. So we had like 3 or 4 properties to look at all. So I think this was one of the first 3. We looked at the first day, and the other ones were, not good. And so, but this one, like as soon as we walked in, I was like, this is the house. The location's perfect. The school's right across the street. Like everything was perfect. And so we put in a bid that day, and there was another bid. And so we were like all tense, and then I lost it. And then the next week, the person they went with backed out. And so that was their 4th buyer that they had back out. Like they were under contract, almost to closing, and they backed out. I met Dave Coyle through Leanne. He was one of the lenders that she recommended. So she gave me a list of 3 or 4 that she often works with. And I called him and we just hit it off. And that first day we went through all the questions and he had a rate for me and we started the pre-qual. And so I had a pre-qual letter like before I even needed to put in an offer. He was on it. So he walked me through all that and he told me what I could borrow, what I could afford, and all my criteria. He helped me work within that. And very helpful, very knowledgeable. I could tell that it was harder, but Dave Coyle and Judy Jones that works with him, they actually made it feel just as easy. The last time it was rough. But so this time I knew they had all that extra regulations and they walked me through it, they simplified it. Every once in a while they call me like, hey, we raised this issue, you have these options, how do we can get through it? And I tell them and they did all the work. Actually, I had been saving because I knew I was going to buy a house in 3 or 4 years, so I had been saving. And so when I had to bump up my timeline a little bit, they worked with me and they were flexible, and I think I could pull enough together for like 5%. And Dave and Judy, they walked me through like the options, like, well, you could do this and you can have like a gift from this. And then when we ran into trouble and I actually decided to I actually liquidated a 401k to increase my payment to 20%, and that got rid of a whole lot of our hurdles. And they walked me through that and walked through those options, and like every step of the way they gave me options, made it simple and made it easy to decide, and they let me drive. They just gave me the options, gave me advice, and let me decide. They didn't pressure me one direction or another.